Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.
Next on HIKI NŌ, stories from across our island chain.
No matter how hard and how challenging a life that a child may have, if they have one caring adult, it makes all the difference and they can be resilient.
Find out how a community project is helping to get Kauai's disaffected children the help they need.
Meet the son of legendary artist Jean Charlot and see how he is restoring a school mural he had painted some 40 years ago.
Learn about taiko drumming for the deaf.
Hear from a fire knife dancer who is teaching the traditional Samoan art form to a new generation.
Visit a special place that connects families and children to nature.
And see how artists are beautifying the streets of Kaimuki.
Stay tuned for these stories and get to know the HIKI NŌ teachers from the schools represented in this show.
All on this episode of HIKI NŌ.
Can do.
We are here on the campus of Kapaʻa High School on the Garden Island of Kauai. Our media production teacher and HIKI NŌ advisor is Mr. Chris Sandro. This is his third year teaching at Kapaʻa High School, and before that, he was the HIKI NŌ advisor at Kapaʻa Middle School. He always ensures our projects have the highest possible production value to keep our audience engaged. This keeps us pushing toward perfection. Mr. Sandro and his wife just welcomed their first child into the world only a few weeks ago. They're enjoying this time together as a family and look forward to their first trip to the beach with their new little girl. In our story, students from Kapaʻa High School share how the Kauaʻi Resilience Project supports teenagers as they mature into strong-minded young adults.
It's very uplifting to be able to see the community gather around the needs of our youth.
The Kauaʻi Resilience Project is a bold community initiative to enhance our young people's ability to successfully navigate through life's challenges.
We wanted to find out how kids were feeling, how were they doing, and we were surprised to find out, unfortunately, that some of our students are feeling sad and they're feeling worthless, and they're giving up hope. And we knew then that we wanted to get together as a community to find out how we could help and what we could do.
The project aims to understand the key factors that lead to stress and feelings of helplessness by listening to Kauai's youth.
What we did is we talked to our kids and we found out that they felt that there wasn't enough things to do on the island, that the island of Kauai is no longer for them, that it caters more to our tourists. And they requested that we add more programs to have accessibility to more activities after school.
Using this input, the Kauaʻi Resilience Project helps reinforce local youth programs with necessary support for increased success.
There are other sources of structure too. It could be a team or a club at school, or just making sure they remain engaged in school and continue to advance in their classes. But we find that engagement of all different kinds is associated with resilience.
Rolling out their community action plan, the project strives to help our young people thrive.
There was an important study that was done on Kauai many years ago that discovered that no matter how hard and how challenging a life that a child may have, if they have one caring adult, it makes all the difference and they can be resilient. So our goal is to ask everybody on Kauai to help listen to our young people, to help do things with them, to include them in their life so that everyone can feel connected and feel happier and more resilient.
Through consistent effort, the project is making an impact.
Finding a mentor would be like joining a group and seeing if you like the group leader, joining a sports team and seeing if you like the coach, joining like a faith-based organization, a church group, a youth group, something like that. And those kinds of folks, the adults that are in those kinds of positions, are very frequently open to mentorship.
So all of us are working hard to bring resources into the community for youth. We're bringing after-school programs. We're bringing things to do on evenings and weekends. We're helping kids learn how to be resilient.
As our island's youth grows, so will the support from the Kauaʻi Resilience Project. This is Michael Omoyo from Kapaʻa High School for HIKI NŌ.
HIKI NŌ is on Instagram. For special HIKI NŌ content, follow us on Instagram at HIKI NŌ Can Do.
We're here on the campus of Kauaʻi High School on the Big Island of Hawaii.
Our media teacher and HIKI NŌ advisor is Michelle Obregon. While she is passionate about providing opportunities for her students, she equally enjoys eating cupcakes with sprinkles and making sure her students join in on the fun. Miss Obregon has been a media teacher for 16 years at Kauaʻi. She enjoys learning along with her students about new applications, equipment, and creative challenges. One of the best things about being in her media program is meeting new people and learning about our community. Also, she might ask you where her glasses are, and they're usually on her head. The following story from Kauaʻi High School is about muralist Martin Charlot restoring a mural he painted 46 years ago.
Now, of course, when I painted it the first time, I was a young guy. And here I am, I'm an old disabled man.
Renowned artist Martin Charlot is restoring a 38-panel mural he painted 46 years ago, located on the outside of the Ellison Onizuka Gymnasium at Kauaʻi High School in Leeward, Hawaii. The Kauaʻi Foundation and Principal Sean Suzuki made arrangements for 74-year-old Martin to come to Hawaii with his team of helpers.
It was really gratifying when I got Sean's phone call saying that he wanted the mural conserved. You know, a lot of these murals, when they get so burned out by the sun and the rain and all, they just take the panels and dispose of them.
He paints actual people, and those are actual kupuna. Those are actual members of our community. That's literally a photograph. And I think that it means a heck of a lot to this community because it is absolutely part of our history and represents the people in community that are here.
The mural is titled Ohana Ho'oponopono Kokua, which means family, reconciliation, and assistance.
I'm working from actual students of the time, so if you think of it, here they're 17. And 46 years ago, if you do the math, they're today probably in their 60s. A lot of the people in the mural have been coming back to introduce themselves to me. One family was telling me that they come back every year to see the mural, and they were getting very concerned about it because it was really fading.
Art runs in the family. Martin's father, Jean Charlot, was an internationally known artist and a key figure in the Mexican mural movement. Like his father, Martin is carrying on the family legacy of painting murals in Hawaii and on the mainland. Martin's son Kamalu is also helping paint the mural.
Oh, well, I've learned everything from my dad. He was a muralist, and so even when I was a very young boy, I was on scaffolds with him, helping him. In the early stages, I would be mixing the colors and grinding the colors. So I was very glad my father was still alive because he had taught me how to paint, and here I was able to do this large mural for him to see what I had done.
The restoration of the Kauaʻi mural might not have happened if it wasn't for the family and friends who came to Martin's aid in 2005 when his health suddenly declined.
They had to use panels to start my heart up. So my brother says, you weren't almost dead, you were dead. So, you know, having that little whisper in the ear and rushing to save me, I look very much from my point of view, that it's like a miracle. So I'm really glad to be here. And even though my body is very compromised now, I only have one eye, I don't have two. And I can't walk without a walker.
While the passage of time has transformed the mural and the artist, it hasn't changed Martin's passion for painting, ensuring that the history of Konoaina will be preserved for future generations.
You're young, you think, oh, what is it like to be old? But it's really, you're the same guy. I mean, I feel like I'm the same guy as when I was 6 years old. I just keep in there pitching, doing what I like to do, which is to paint. I love to paint.
This is Christian Aragon from Konoaina High School for HIKI NŌ.
Our next story comes to us from the island of Oʻahu, where students at Hawaiʻi Baptist Academy take us to a taiko drum class that defies conventional expectations.
Taiko, or wa-daiko, is the ancient art of Japanese drumming that was originally used for practical purposes like communicating over long distances. Now, taiko has become a performance art showcasing both the musicality and physical endurance of its players.
TCP is Taiko Center of the Pacific. We are a school of traditional and contemporary Japanese drumming. Taiko Center of the Pacific started in 1994 here in Honolulu, Hawaii. My husband and I wanted to perpetuate the art form and teach young people about the Japanese drums.
The Taiko Center of the Pacific offers many classes to the public, including one for the deaf and hard of hearing.
I met Chizuko, and I asked if I could, set up a class for the deaf people. And she helped me with the process of setting it up and inviting everyone. And then it started, and that's how I got involved. I thought, wow, what? They're so famous and popular, and they're giving us a class. I'm so excited to join.
Classes are structured to give its participants visual cues. Students learn technique, movements, and patterns with the help of Chizuko Endo, an assistant and sign language interpreter.
I watch her with an interpreter who is interpreting what the teacher's saying, but then she always leads us by drumming, and we follow the leader. Also, we have an assistant, like an internship or fellowship person who shows us what to do. We follow whoever's standing in front of us. We just watch them carefully and follow what their hands are doing, and make sure we're matching the hit exactly.
I try to use a lot of physical movements, and I feel the students really need to visualize and watch. But the great thing about taiko drumming is that the vibrations can be felt through your whole body. So they can really feel every strike of the drum. And they said they really liked it because the drums were loud, and these were deaf people.
The students in this class don't see their deafness as a limitation to being a drummer and performer.
I guess that many people would be surprised because they think that deaf people can't play drums, they can't hear, but they don't realize we can feel the vibrations, we can watch and use our eyes to see what's happening, so we're fine, really. Well, I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like, I'm not the only one. We feel like we can do something, we can learn new things, we can do it together.
It's affected them in a positive way, that they can do something that previously they thought they could not do. They perform just as well as any hearing person. I like to see that taiko is not just for the hearing or physically able people.
We can, we're capable. It's just we can't hear. That's not the point. Really, we can follow, we can use our eyes to watch and learn and copy, and really that's what we can do for the deaf.
These students would agree that they love what they are learning and are committed to getting better as performers.
Well, I enjoy playing it because for me, it just feels so good. That's all I can say. I just totally enjoy drumming. I would watch taiko drummers and I would feel like, I wish I could do that too. And I thought, it was just a wish, but I didn't think it could really happen. And now it's a reality, and I'm just so stoked about it. It's just so exciting. I've been involved, and I'll stick with it. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue doing it because it really feels great, and I love it.
Despite being deaf and hard of hearing, these taiko students continue to play passionately and share their love for the art with the community. This is Casey Nakashima from Hawaiʻi Baptist Academy for HIKI NŌ.
We're here on the campus of Kealakekee Intermediate on the west side of Hawaii Island. Our media teacher and HIKI NŌ advisor is Matthew Williams. He has been a teacher here at Kealakekee Intermediate for 8 years and was awarded 2019 Hawaii State Teacher of the Year. Mr. Williams is unlike any other teacher because he encourages us to do our best and never lets us give up on ourselves.
He has taught us the importance of visual storytelling and secretly is an amazing singer with the voice of an angel.
Just say you won't let go.
The following story is from Kealakaʻi Intermediate School on Hawaiʻi Island. It features a fine knife dancer and mentor describing the importance of this cultural dance.
My name is Afa Tualaulile, and I am a teacher at Kealakaʻi Intermediate School, and I teach fire knife outside. When I was young, I got into fire knife dancing. At the age of 4, I would go with my dad to the luau shows, and he would be the fire knife dancer. So I'd sit in the back with the spotlight guy, and I'd watch him on the stage every night, and I kind of just watched and learned. Fire knife dancing is an art that comes from Samoa. It's called ailau, spinning of a stick. It was a war dance that the warriors would do when they would come back. They would celebrate, and they would emulate what they did in battle. Fire knife dancing represents courage, humility, and just bravery to even want to dance with fire. You add fire to a dance. Fire is so destructive. Everybody's mindset on fire is that, people can get hurt, and that is such a dangerous element that when you see it being controlled in a dance, it makes it special.
Fire knife dancing is one of the art that will bring discipline. It's not just something that you will just have fun with, You have to learn and be disciplined about it and make sure you practice a lot, because it won't just come to you.
Growing up, it was very hard to learn from someone because not a lot of people were doing it, and I think just whatever I learned throughout my years, I just want to pass it down. I teach the art of fire knife because I want to leave a legacy. A lot of the kids that come through the class, they gotta have that desire in them to learn, because at the end of the day, you're dancing with fire and a knife. So if you're not as motivated, you're gonna get hurt.
My favorite part with practicing with Alpha is that not only does he teach fire knife, he teaches the values, along with being a better person. Usually when people practice fire knife or when they perform, it's all about the money, but what Alpha tries to instill in us is that it's about respect, and you do it out of respect. You don't just do it for the money.
Fire knife kind of means everything. It's life in a dance, pretty much. I mean, you're gonna get burned, you're gonna get nicks and scars, and that's pretty much life. You're gonna get burned in life, but you gotta have the courage to stand back up and dance again.
This is Kalihua Medeiros from Kealakaʻi Intermediate School for HIKI NŌ.
Next, from the island of Oʻahu, students at McKinley High School take us behind the scenes of a nature center that is creating the next generation of environmental stewards.
Look, we have shrimp. See them?
At Hawaiʻi Nature Center, our mission is to connect children and families to nature. We want to create the next generation of environmental stewards who can care for this unique place that we all call home.
Located in the heart of Makiki Valley on the island of Oʻahu lies the Hawaiʻi Nature Center, where young minds can get a real feel for environmental education.
There's something that you can't ever replace sitting in a classroom with feeling wind on your skin, or seeing a shrimp in the stream, or hearing the birds in the forest. When groups come to our programs, it enhances what they're learning in the classroom, because science is all around us. It's a dream job in that sense, and bringing together my two passions, which would be environmental education, environmental stewardship, and culture. And so I find it really wonderful that I get to do what I love every day. To share that with the next generation is pretty wonderful. Our world is in big trouble. There's big changes happening, and we can ignore it on a day-to-day level to some extent, but what's happening, we're noticing more and more. And so for us to be able to share that with kids, to reach kids, is very valuable.
Kids at the start of the week may be littering at school, or their parents may be using a lot of disposable plastics at home. And by the end of the week, these kids are bringing zero waste lunches where they are able to compost everything that they don't use, and their kids are taking green bags to the store.
A big part of it is modeling by example. Kind of draw them in that direct one-on-one context, pull them in, get them excited about it, show them that you're excited about it.
We want them to feel empowered and inspired that they're able to make a difference in changing the community and taking care of this planet.
The Hawaiʻi Nature Center believes that, through education, individual impacts, can make a sustainable future possible, powered by today's youth.
The best way to save the planet, I think, is to first experience it and learn about it and care about it. That will then lead to stewardship down the road by having those fundamental connections with the environment, and that's what our mission is at the Nature Center.
This is Kara Rossavon from President William McKinley High School for HIKI NŌ.
Apples with that crunch.
We're here on the Sacred Hearts Academy campus in Kaimuki on Oʻahu. Our media teacher, Mrs. Alyssa Myers, went from the newsroom to the classroom. She started her career in teaching over 6 years ago after working in both the newspaper and broadcast industries. When she's not hanging at school, she's hanging 10 at the beach. That's where she spends most of her time, catching family waves with her husband and daughter Liv. They also enjoy taking annual surf and snow trips around the world. The following story from Sacred Hearts Academy on Oʻahu shows how art has brightened up Kaimuki, bringing the theme of Hawaii back to the community.
It's a charming little town, but it was getting kind of shabby.
Kaimuki is a small, vibrant neighborhood known for its local shops and eateries. For the last several years, this East Honolulu community has also become a target for vandals. In September of 2018, a team of local artists called Street Art Hawaii decided to fight back with their paintbrushes.
We took traffic signal boxes, and many of them had graffiti on them, and turned them into pieces of art.
Founder Jennifer Noel took her idea to the Mayor's Office of Culture and the Arts. When she received permission to paint, Street Art Hawaii went to work.
All of the boxes, in order to even be selected, you have to have a thread of Hawaii in their theme, and it has to be family friendly.
Local artist Jenny Floral found her Hawaii theme in backyard fruits.
The mural that I painted for Kaimuki, I focused on local fruit. I chose lychee, mango, apple bananas, and papaya.
Wendy Robert has incorporated her own theme of endangered species.
I hope that it will bring a spirit of what is so wonderful about Hawaii, the beautiful nature and the vibrant cultures, and not just my murals, but the other murals that have been created through this initiative.
Many say the paintings evoke feelings of joy and community spirit.
Seeing splashes of color everywhere, seeing the creativity come out throughout the community on different walls, even in tiny little spaces.
So far, Street Art Hawaii has painted more than a dozen signal boxes and buildings along Waialae Avenue. Artists hope to expand their work, making it harder for vandals to leave their mark.
I hope it takes off and you're going to see art not just on traffic signal boxes, but in unexpected places.
Whatever their canvases may be, they hope these public tributes to the islands evoke pride and inspiration in all who view them.
Just to bring joy to the community and bring beauty, and also bring a theme of Hawaii back to the community.
These are local artists. I can show you some of the pictures.
And who knows, these unconventional works of art could plant the seed for a new generation of artists.
I encourage everybody out there to pick up a paintbrush or a pencil, no matter how bad you think you are, you can't do it. I say give it a try.
This is Kirsten Aoyagi from Sacred Hearts Academy for HIKI NŌ.
Well, we've come to the end of this episode of HIKI NŌ.
Remember, all of these stories were written, shot, and edited by students like us.
We hope you've enjoyed watching them as much as we've enjoyed sharing them with you.
Be sure to tune in next week for more proof that Hawaii students HIKI NŌ.
Can do.
Stay tuned after the credits to see how the teachers learn the digital media skills that they pass along to their HIKI NŌ students.
I think it's myself. What is that?
Well, today I'm at the Teachers Conference, and I'm having this talk that I have with students, with teachers, helping them to learn how the cameras work, how the sound is done, how to scout, learn a little bit about pre-production, production, and so that they can come back with good pictures and good sound. I think just by the attendance alone, I think you can tell that the teachers are interested, they want to know, and it's a great exercise in learning around production.
What PBS Hawaii is doing here, getting the teachers together and collaborating and really kind of pushing a lot higher level learning is just fantastic.
These conferences are great because number one, you get to meet all the great teachers in their media programs. And they're important just so that we can build off of each other, we can learn from each other. And I think this is all just to help us and to help our students when it comes to participating in HIKI NŌ and understanding what it takes.
I think it's excellent. It's a great resource for teachers. It's been wonderful and really helpful, and I feel like I actually have something I can go back and implement when I go back to school.
It's a great opportunity, especially, I'm really stoked to bring this all back to my kids, and I want to get started on stories right away. I'm super excited.
I like working with the kids. I think it's important because they can learn a lot of skill sets with it. They can learn critical thinking. They have to solve problems. How do you tell a story? That in and of itself is a very valuable tool to have in your box. So HIKI NŌ does that, I think, and offers an opportunity to actually be on a much bigger stage, because it is broadcast, it is PBS, and than they could have any other way. You can make a lot of things for YouTube or Vimeo or social media, or you can play with your friends, but that is not the same as going out to a broadcast public audience and telling a story about yourself, your community, your school. HIKI NŌ affords them that opportunity.
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo, and by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.